Well, at least he kind of looks like Gambit. For those of you who don't know, although I don't really know how you couldn't know, judging by the video title, Lauren Schuler Donner, producer of the long-running X-Men film franchise and wife of famed director Richard Donner, has confirmed that her personal pick, Channing Tatum, will indeed be playing Gambit, the character of Gambit, in a future film in the franchise. Now, obviously, this news isn't entirely surprising because she has stated on multiple occasions that she would really like Channing Tatum to play Gambit, and Tatum himself has said that not only would he love to play Gambit, but also he feels that he can relate to Gambit a lot more than the other X-Men movies since he's from down south. I'm from down south too, but you don't see me playing Gambit. Anyway, this will probably cause some controversy. I don't know if it'll cause as much controversy as Ben Affleck playing Batman. Probably not, because Gambit is not nearly as popular of a character, at least in the mainstream, as Batman is. So I don't really see it causing as big of an uproar as the series of announcements regarding the future Batman-Superman crossover movie. However, this is still likely to cause some degree of uproar in the eyes of fanboys and longtime readers of comic books who really know the character of Gambit inside and out. Personally, I'm not completely writing the guy off. Instead, I have more of a wait-and-see attitude. To me, well, no, that's probably a bad example. I was going to say, well, I had a wait-and-see attitude towards Heath Ledger as the Joker, but then again, Heath Ledger was a better actor than Channing Tatum has demonstrated himself to be at this point. However, does that make Channing Tatum a quote-unquote bad actor? I don't think so. I mean, he's not one of the greats by any stretch of the imagination, but he seems to really want to improve himself. He really seems sincere in his intentions. He seems to be picking or trying to pick good movies, and I've seen him give some decent performances. And I think my biggest query regarding this casting decision is, does he have the charisma to pull it off? And I think the character of Gambit will either sink or swim depending on the charisma of the actor playing him. Because honestly, if the actor playing Gambit does not sell you on the fact that this guy always has literally and figuratively an ace up his sleeve, then I think the whole concept comes crashing down. Obviously, we know that he's probably not going to be Gambit in Days of Future Past. Days of Future Past is coming out in a week and a half. But this casting decision will likely be the first of many to come regarding the future movie X-Men Apocalypse, which obviously deals with the character of Apocalypse, and they've said that that's going to be a disaster movie. Now, how Gambit will exactly fit into that, I don't know. I can easily see him fitting in because Apocalypse is this really big bad of the X-Men franchise, so at this point I'm kind of trepidatious because Apocalypse is not really as down-to-earth as Magneto is. Or even Sebastian Shaw. I mean, Apocalypse is... He's this godlike figure, but I'm not talking about that right now. I'm talking about Channing Tatum as Gambit. Well, like I said, he kind of looks like him. I mean, if you look at a picture of Gambit, and if you imagine Channing Tatum in the coat and in the headgear and with longer hair, then he does kind of look like Gambit. But again, if the performance is not any good, then the whole thing comes crashing down. But like I said, I'm not completely writing him off. I'm just giving my 2 cents, and my 2 cents is, well, let's wait and see. Let's bear with this. I want to see where they're going with this. Because you could, in theory, raise the memory of, well, Hugh Jackman wasn't anyone's first pick to play Wolverine, or at least no one outside of the film production of the first X-Men movie. But he turned out to be a really, really good choice. In fact, I would even argue a nearly perfect choice. But I'll get to that. I'll get to that in another video. The point of this video was, just basically to give my first impressions of Channing Tatum as Gambit. I probably could have made this video sooner, but this is the first time we've actually gotten confirmation that, yes, he is definitely going to play Gambit, instead of just speculation, rumor, or desire of both Lauren Shuler Donner and Tatum himself. Although I hope they're not resorting to an artistically bankrupt policy of just getting a big name actor in there just to draw in tickets, because Channing Tatum, it's not like he's a Robert Downey Jr. It's not like he's a Johnny Depp, where if you slap his name on something, it automatically sells like a blockbuster. Although Johnny Depp is actually starting to lose his appeal, if the Lone Ranger was any indication. But I digress. But the point is, Channing Tatum is around. He's relevant at this point. So one could theoretically argue, well, you're only casting him as Gambit because Channing Tatum is one of the significant names in Hollywood right now. I mean, he's getting a lot of exposure, whether it be films like Magic Mike, White House Down, Side Effects. But honestly, I don't really think he's that bad of an actor. I mean, I haven't seen all of his movies, and I've seen him give bad performances, to be sure. I mean, just look at Step Up. I've seen the first Step Up. I didn't like it. If that little blow was any indication. But what was that movie he was in? It's the Guide to Recognizing Your Saints or something like that. He was good in that. It was some movie he did with Shia LaBeouf. Just imagine Shia LaBeouf as Gambit. If you disagree with Channing Tatum, then imagine Shia LaBeouf. Oh God. But yeah, he was good in there. He was decent in White House Down. White House Down wasn't very good, but, well, it was just mediocre, honestly. But Side Effects, Magic Mike, Haywire, he was fine in all of those. He wasn't great, but he wasn't anything terrible. So, like I said, I'm bearing with this. I'm not completely writing off this movie just because of this one casting choice that is probably going to raise some questions. And yeah, like I've said many times before in this video, as a matter of fact, let's just see where it goes. I don't really think this is any cause to get all up in arms about the whole experience. I'm still fairly excited. I'm still fairly curious about X-Men Apocalypse. And yeah, I'm willing to give them the benefit of the doubt. Even Taylor Kitsch, even in X-Men Origins Wolverine, I liked Taylor Kitsch as Gambit. He was completely thrown away in a movie in which he didn't really need to be there, but he was fine as Gambit. I liked him. He had charisma. He had charm. Again, he wasn't really in the movie for too long, but he was fine. So this casting decision at first glance kind of perplexed me, because they already have a perfectly fine Gambit in the form of Taylor Kitsch. But my guess is they're trying to eradicate X-Men Origins Wolverine from the series continuity. I don't know what their deal is. Maybe they'll explain it. I don't know, but yeah. like I said, give this guy a chance. At the very least, give him a chance before you jump on the hate bandwagon.